Hello viewers, my name is Uzair Ahmed. I am doing Master in Business Administration from Charles Darwin University. For the completion of my degree, I had to do a 300-hour work placement. So I did my work placement at the Department of Mining. Previously, I have done chemical engineering for Pakistan, and I came to Australia like 2 years ago, and I am being an international student, finishing my degree from here at CDU. The reason I decided to do my internship at the Department of Mining was that it has got a lot of scope in Australia. According to the Daily Telegraph, it has got an average engineer working in the department in the mining sector makes up to $80,000 per annum. That is almost just as good as any doctor or a lawyer. According to the Daily Telegraph again, mining industry is the second largest sector in Australia. The first largest is construction, and after that it is mining. That's the second biggest. And the mining sector creates up to $220,000 jobs in Australia. That is almost 2% of the entire workforce in Australia. So every year, a lot of very big companies like Rio Tinto, PSP Bulletin, and state governments, they put a lot of money, like millions of dollars, in the mining sector. They extract minerals worth millions of dollars and create a lot of very good jobs. The mining sector makes up to 8.5% of the entire Australian GDP. I am doing the internship in the Department of Mining of the Northern Territory. The Department of Mining has presence in all the major regions of the Northern Territory, and the head office of the Department of Mining is in Smith Street, that is located at the center of the Darwin city. The Department of Mining, the head office of Department of Mining has around 20 to 25 to 30 people working in the head office. In the office, in the Darwin office, they have all the employees are given a very good air-conditioned environment, a very good environment, and all the employees are given a cabin, a computer, a telephone, and they are also given a government email ID. All the employees, especially the new employees, are given a complimentary introductory tour of the entire department, and then especially the internees are encouraged to make a presentation to the fellow staff, explaining their background, their education, their cultural history, and everything. Doing the placement at the Department of Mining, I had the opportunity to visit different mines located near to Darwin City. During these tours, I found the opportunity to meet with different officials, engineers and operators working at the mine, and I also learned to use different tools regarding the use of. I also learned different tools regarding the exploration of minerals. So different tools include using knowledge and communication skills. So this is the Department of Mining and Energy. It is a very big department, and it has got 4 different divisions. So one is Mines Division, Energy Division, Strategy and Policy, and Anti-Geological Survey. As you can see that this is a very big department. My particular role was in the investment attraction. Investment attraction comes under the Anti-Geological Survey. So at investment attraction, what we do over here is that we try to attract international investors. So basically, we have strategies to attract investors from Japan, China, Korea. So they have and the policy to attract Indian investors is still under process. So what their main focus is to attract investors near to Darwin area, near to the Darwin port. So as I told you earlier that my role is in the Department of Investment Attraction. So Department of Investment Attraction comes under the Geological Survey. So this person is Ein Schemberg. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the of Anti-Geological Survey. Under Ein Schemberg, there is Fiona Park. Fiona Park is my mentor as well, and she is the director of investment Russia. Her role is to go to different countries and meet the investment companies and try to attract them to in the mining sector of the Northern Territory. After that, there is Jane Wang. Jane Wang is a senior China business manager. Her role is to engage with the Chinese investors and provide interpretation services when required. Apart from all of them, we also have two more positions that are vacant at the moment. One is senior manager, senior business development manager, and the one is senior business development officer. These two positions are still vacant, and then there's me. So that is me over here. I'm the work placement student. So that is the organizational hierarchy of investment direction. The first thing that I did during my placement was to identify the changes made in the CORE website. CORE is a $24 million government initiative. The main purpose of CORE is to attract international investors. So what CORE do is that they have a website and they put the geological data on the website for the facilitation of the investors. During the past 4 years, unfortunately, a lot of changes were made in the CORE website, but these changes were not. The main website of the CORE was in English language, but that language has been translated into 3 more different languages. So during the last 4 years, there were a lot of changes were made in the English language version, but these changes were not reflected in the foreign language version of the CORE website. So my job was technically to identify the changes made in the CORE website and to highlight the changes and report them so that the translators can only translate those bits that were changed. So that was a very lengthy task, and I put around 2 or 3 weeks on this project. But unfortunately, this project could never be completed because at the end it was decided that the changes made in the CORE website, they are just too many, and it is really not possible to only pinpoint the changes, and so it was decided it's probably a better idea to translate the entire website altogether. Korean delegation. A few weeks ago, there was a Korean company was interested in the Northern Territory. They wanted to do the exploration of the lithium in the Northern Territory. So the company sent a few geologists to the Northern Territory. The purpose of the Korean delegation was that they wanted to look at the lithium mine, and also to examine the roads and infrastructure available at the Darwin port. So I helped the Fiona and the Korean delegation making the schedule. I also made their travel arrangements, accommodation arrangements, and make their dinner arrangements for them. And then when the Korean delegation finally arrived, I took the airport and received them. And then after a few days, I took them to the Benai pegmatite field that is far away from Darwin, like 50 kilometers away from here. It's a Benai pegmatite field. That's a lithium mine. So we went over there. We had a look at the sample of lithium over there. So the Korean delegation were very happy, and they said that they will go over there, and they took some samples and took with them to the Korea, and they will study that and possibly come back again with investment, with possible investment. Meeting participation. During the internship, I had the opportunity to participate in different corporate meetings along with Fiona. So most of the meetings were with the officials of Austrade. Austrade is an independent body that is responsible, that has presence in all the major regions of the world. So the Northern Territory, so the Government Department of Mining, they actually hire Austrade officials to provide services for them during their offices visit. do, during these meetings, I learned how to I learned how the minutes of meeting works, and being a part of professional environment, that was very helpful for me, and that was very constructive for me in improving my, in the sense of improving my communication skills. After a few weeks at the Department of Mining, my mentor Fiona Park was got an additional charge in the Department of Tourism and Culture. So at the Department of Tourism and Culture, her main role was to develop a profitable and self-sustaining film industry in the Northern Territory. The main office of the Department of Tourism and Culture was in Milner. Milner is a small suburb near to the Darwin city. So Fiona also made a small cabin for me next to her office in Milner. So I also helped Fiona making the strategic plan along with new terms and conditions for the film producers in order to receive financial grants from the government. Every year, the Northern Territory government gives away a lot of sports vouchers. All these sports vouchers, they are given to the children in schools and colleges. The purpose of the government is to motivate the children to participate in sports and games. So these are $100 sports vouchers, and every year a lot of these sports vouchers, they come back unattended. The reason can vary due to different reasons. For example, the child's address may be wrong, or the child may have left a school or college, or may have left the education altogether. So my job was to identify the changes and disable the sport voucher in the computer system. At the end of my internship, during the last week, Fiona actually asked me to make a presentation for the fellow staff members. So I made two different presentations. One was for the Department of Mining, and one was for the Department of Tourism and Culture. So during my presentation at the Department of Mining, I mentioned the work that I did in the Department of Mining, and during my internship at the Department of Tourism and Culture, I mentioned the stuff that I have done in that department. I'm from Pakistan, as I have told you earlier. I have been bachelor's in chemical engineering. So, and after completing my engineering, I also did job in Pakistan for like 1 year. So a lot of chemical engineers, after getting a few experience for a few years, they want themselves to be promoted to the managerial level positions. So for me, doing an internship in the top-notch government institution, that will really help me get to that managerial positions faster than other engineers, because the experience of mining industry, that really matters, and especially if it is from a government institution. I have made a small list of recommendations that I think that department can benefit from. One thing is that the department can hire a few more employees. I believe that the mining sector has the potential of creating a lot of jobs and making a lot of revenue for the government. But unfortunately, I believe that the department at this moment only have 2 people working. So I believe that if the department should do more work over here and hire more people and do more efforts to attract international investments, and only two people over there working for it is just not enough. As I have told you earlier at the start of the presentation, that at the investment attraction at the Department of Investment Attraction, there are 2 positions still vacant, and those 2 positions have been vacant for like a long time. So so they need to hire more people and do more work over there, and then they can also hire more internees, because internees are free of cost. They're young, energetic, so they can have a lot of innovative ideas. So that can really help in the benefit of the department. Then I have noticed, working in the Department of Mining, that the department has completely ignored North Europe and Northern America. So because in America and there are very big companies working over there. So they should also make separate strategies. The same way they have done for Korea, Japan, and India. They should also make separate policy to attract investors from Europe and America. At the end, I would say that it was a very good experience working over there. I would definitely recommend Department of Mining to the future internees. It has increased my organizational abilities, my managerial abilities, and especially engaging with Fiona in the corporate meetings, that has really increased my communication skills and boosted up my confidence. So I really recommend working over here, and I really enjoyed working at the Department of Mining, especially under my mentor Fiona. And thank you very much. That's it.